If you want to learn how to make beautiful beaded bags, there are a few essential techniques you need to master first. You need to learn the 4 bead weaving technique, how to start and end a row neatly, how to weave in excess thread, and end a thread while adding a new one seamlessly. In this video, I'm going to teach you these basic techniques step by step. So gather your beads and your threads and let's get started. Oh, Mery Joy. We will be using these 6mm round beads. The best thread to use is the 0.7mm thread, the fishing line, okay? So start off by cutting about 30 inches thread because this is just a practice piece, so you need a short thread to start with. The initial bead you are going to pick for starting this row is 4. So put 3 beads at the end of one thread and then crisscross with 1 bead. If you did it right, this is what you should have, okay? So we are going to continue from this point. Now go ahead and tape down your first 4 weave. This is important because it prevents the weave from moving around. This will help you continue with your weaving seamlessly. Moving forward, you're going to put 1 bead on the right thread and then another bead on the left thread. And then you use the 3rd bead to crisscross. So moving on, you are picking 3 beads. 1 bead on the right thread, another bead on the left thread, and then you crisscross with 1. Continue this process until you get to your desired length. For this one, we are going to make just 10 counts because this is just a practice piece. So when you crisscross, the thread on the right goes to the left and the thread on the left goes to the right in the bead, okay? Please remember, this is very important. This is what you should have, okay? So over here, we have 5 on the row, 5 bead count. So we are going to add 4 more. So add 4 more and then I'll show you what to do next. This video is about 24 minutes long, okay? I don't want to fast forward it because I want you to understand the basics of the 4 bead weaving, okay? So please continue and then I'll show you what to do next. Also remember to pull your threads tight, okay? That is what is going to make your bag strong. Okay, we now have 9 bead counts, okay? For the 10th one, we are going to create the pathway to start working on row 2. So please pay particular attention to this part. Before we start, go ahead and tape down your weight somewhere in the middle, okay? Because we don't want it to be moving around while we are trying to get to row 2. Okay, to get to row 2, we are going to put 3 beads on the left thread, okay? So put 2 first and then go ahead and cross with 1. That will change the direction of the thread to help us start working on row 2. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that we've successfully changed the direction of the thread, here is the twist. We are about to begin row 2. So you're going to pick two beads, put two beads on the left thread and then cross with one bead. Okay, that will put you on the right path to starting row 2 properly. Here is a key point to take note of, okay? When you are beginning a new row, pick three beads. Put two beads on the left thread and then cross with one bead. Insert the thread on the left bead in the next bead on row 1. This is a very important step. So let me take it again. Insert the thread on the left into the next bead on row 1. Moving on, you are going to pick two beads, okay? Put one bead on the right thread and then cross with one bead. Put one bead on the right thread and then cross with one bead. Always pull your thread tight, okay? This is what is going to make your bag strong. Moving on, insert the thread on the left into the next bead on row 1 and then pick up two beads. Put one bead on the right thread and then cross with one. This is how you are going to continue until you reach the last bead on the row, okay? When you get there, I'll show you what to do. Go ahead and finish all the beads on the row and then I'll show you the next step. Here's another key point to remember. The thread that goes into the next bead on row 1 is the left thread. Please remember this. Okay, now when you insert your left thread into the last bead on row 1, turn the work towards you, okay? We are going to work with the thread you inserted on the last bead on row 1, okay? So turn the work towards you, tap it down so it does not move around, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, now you are going to pick up two beads, put one on the left thread, the thread I'm showing you, and then cross with one bead, okay? That is going to change the direction of the thread so that we can start row 3. To begin row 3, again, we are going to put two beads on the left thread and then use one bead to cross. So you are picking up 3 beads for the beginning of row 3. Remember this. Go ahead and insert the thread on the left into the next bead on row 2. Pick up two beads, put one bead on the right thread and then cross with one. At this point, our thread is short, so I'm going to show you how to end this thread and then add another thread. To end the thread, you're going to put the left thread into the left bead at the back, okay? and then you're going to put the right thread into the right bead at the back. So you are weaving into what you've already done backwards. I hope you understand that. Now when you finish doing that, you are then going to cross the threads in the bead below. Okay, you're going to cross the threads in the bead below. Cross your threads in this bead right here. Okay, so insert the outer thread first, and then you go in with the thread on the left. Please take note that when you are weaving in your excess thread, you follow the pattern of your 4 bead weaving, okay? You follow the pattern and then you weave in the thread backwards, okay? You weave in the thread like the way you've done the 4 bead weaving, except that this time you are weaving into the work that you've already done, okay? So pay attention and then weave in the ends into the work you've already done. So over here, I'll just follow the pattern of the 4 bead weave I've already done, and then I'll leave the threads to be weaved in later. Go ahead and cut a new thread to continue with the weaving. So you are going to insert the thread into the bead you ended your last thread, okay? So go ahead and insert your thread, pull both ends together, making sure both ends are equal. Insert the left thread into the next bead on row 2, okay? Insert the left thread into the next bead on row 2. Then go ahead and pick up 2 beads. Put one on the right thread and then cross with the other one. Continue with this process until you reach the last bead. At the end of row 2, turn the work towards you, okay, and tip it down so it doesn't move around. Again, pick up 2 beads, okay, put 1 bead on the left thread and then use 1 bead to cross. This will change the direction of the thread, and now we can continue with row 4. Beginning row 4, pick up 3 beads, okay, put 2 beads on the left thread and then cross with 1. Insert the left thread into the next bead on row 3 and then pick up 2 beads. Put one bead on the right thread and use the other one to cross. Continue with this process until you reach the end of row 4. Alright, so I'm going to show you again how to end your thread, okay? I'm going to show you how to end the thread again. Remember, you're going to weave backwards, okay? So look at the pattern of the 4 bead weave you've done. Put the left thread into the bead on the left and put the right thread into the bead on the right. Now you are going to cross the threads in the bead at the bottom, okay? The bead that completes the 4 bead weave, that is what you're going to use to cross your threads. I'll just continue weaving in the excess thread by following the pattern of the weaving I have done. So I'm going to weave the threads into the rows I have already done. The key thing to note is to follow the pattern of the 4 bead weave, okay? That is how you are going to weave in the excess thread. Always remember to pull your thread tight, okay? This is what is going to make your bag strong. When you pull your thread tight, to confirm it, you will hear a pop sound, okay? When you hear that pop sound, it means that you pulled your thread tight enough. Go ahead and add a new thread to where you ended your last thread and then continue with the weaving. Okay, here is the first challenge you're going to face and how to deal with it. So sometimes when you're inserting the thread, it doesn't go through because there are 2 threads in there already. So what I do is to use this big needle, okay? I'm going to put the needle into the bead and try to create space. Do it gently so you don't break the bead. So I'll do it on one end and then repeat the same process on the other end, okay? Twisting the needle into the hole of the bead. Now I'll go in and insert my thread and you see that the thread will go through the bead seamlessly. Now that the thread is in the bead successfully, go ahead and continue weaving. When I pull my thread, notice the pop sound, okay? That sound is very important because that confirms that your thread has been pulled tightly. Alright, so notice the sound. Okay, so now go ahead and weave in the threads you left from row 2, okay? Remember to follow the pattern of the 4 bead weave. weave in the ends as much as you can, and then you trim it off neatly. So now I'm going to add 2 more rows. Okay, so when I add 2 more rows, that will help me weave in the threads, the excess threads I left in row 3. That is going to help me weave them in back into the work. Practice how to make the 4 bead weave, learn how to start and end a row, learn how to insert a new thread, and then learn how to do the back weaving before you think of making your first bag, okay? Because this process is the basic technique you need to have. If you don't understand this basic technique, you may not be able to make your beaded bag. So please try and practice until you get it right, then we can start making a beaded bag. I'm going to make a step-by-step tutorial, a follow-up tutorial where I teach you how to make a complete bag, okay? So for now, just pay attention to this one and learn your basics first. I'm going to show you what happens when you don't follow the pattern of the 4 bead weave when doing the back weaving. So assuming this thread, I'm supposed to go into the bead that is at the top, but I'll go into the bead that is on the left. See what happens, okay? You see a thread in between the beads. It's not supposed to be like that. Remember to follow the pattern of the 4 bead weave, okay, when you are doing the back weaving, alright? This is a bag I am currently working on. I achieved this by following all the processes I have taught you today. So please master your basics, and in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to make a complete bag step by step. See you soon. Bye.